let's just jump into your decision. Obviously, the NFL news media, sports world talking about Aaron Rodgers' decision, and he just said that he's intending to play again and he wants to play for the Jets. And what about your decision process from Super Bowl to the moment you decided to come back to Philadelphia that you're willing to share, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, obviously different situations than what Aaron's doing, and I know that. As a fan, I can imagine it's frustrating when there's indecisiveness on behalf of a player. But there's a lot that goes into this, and when you care a lot, especially I'm sure the way Aaron Rodgers does, and you want to win and you want everything to go right, you put a lot of thought process into what that next season is going to look like. And for me, the big decision was whether I wanted to play again. And I've been in this same boat probably 4 or 5 years now. I think it just as you get a little bit older, it's not even just the physical part; it's the mental part. It's knowing everything that it's going to take to do it right and to do it well, not just for yourself but for your teammates, for your organization. When you become an older guy, you're not. I don't think that you're just. It's just about your play, right? You're part of the thing that keeps it going in the right direction. By not just by breaking down a huddle, but by how you come to work every day, by how engaged you are in meetings, whether you have the energy to talk to a guy in the cafeteria and add value to that conversation, whether it's football or outside of football, right? And all of this requires a commitment, and that commitment, is something that I ultimately felt that I wanted to do again. It's something that I love doing. It's a grind, but I know at some point that's going to be over, and I wasn't ready for it to be over yet. And
then your family, your wife, and how you told me at the Combine when I sat down for the New Heights pod. You have 3 kids, and they're what, 3, 2, and 1? Is that what you have? Or the baby?
Not even 1, 3, 2, and 3 weeks now.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and when I was sitting down with you, my newborn Bennett Llewellyn was 4 days old, and so she. When I left, she was 4 days old. When we sat down, probably about 6, 7. But
right.
Yeah, and this energy and commitment to do anything at the top, at the highest level, right? Whether it's football, business, podcasting, to be the best, it takes time and it takes mental focus and attention and detail. And ultimately that detracts from giving that to my wife and kids to some extent. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be, I don't want to be dramatic, but, when I come home in season, I'm exhausted, right? Now, the way they are only 3, 2, and 3 weeks old, so I got a lot of time here ahead of me with them.
Yes.
But that's certainly something that weighs on it, and I talk to my wife Kylie a lot, and she's awesome. She will never. I sometimes I just want her to make the decision for me, but she won't do that. She just kind of asks me questions, and we get to the answer together, and she was really, really helpful towards the end, where she was like, you know what, if you've been thinking about this much and you're still debating it and you're still you're still going back and forth, you still want to play. When you don't want to play, it'll be clear you'll not want to play. And I think that was probably the best advice I got from anybody.
How much, Jason Kelce, did your decision to come back, do you think, in retrospect, hinge on the fact that you guys lost the Super Bowl? Had you won your second ring and had the parade and the Mummers outfit, the whole thing again, would you have maybe strolled off into the sunset? Do you think, Jason?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because before the Super Bowl, I got asked that question by media members.
Yep.
If you win, are you done? Is this going to impact your decision? And at the time, I said no, and I still, I like to think that won't impact it, because I don't think it should, but it does, I think. And I don't know what would have happened if we would have won, but my brother said something that off season. Ironically, my brother was the one who said this before we even started the season. He said, were sitting in front of a bunch of people at a charity event down at the Jersey Shore. And he says, losing a Super Bowl, I've won one and I've lost one, but losing a Super Bowl, man, you've never wanted to win one that much more. And at the time, I'm like, that's great. All right? He's just saying something that the fans that are there in attendance, like it sounds good, and just acting like he's really motivated to win a Super Bowl. And then I lost a Super Bowl for my first time. I realized, okay, he wasn't just saying that. That's 100% true. It really does. It is heartbreaking to go that far with a really good team and all these guys, and to be that close and not get it done. It's a difficult thing and to cope with, and I'll probably always be coping with that. But we had a great year, special group, and this whole time making this decision, I've tried to remind myself, just because we got there last year, we're going to have a great team next year. I fully believe that. We have, as long as Jalen Hurts is the quarterback,
right,
I think Philadelphia is in great hands, and will be perennial contenders for that award.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.